conductors that you listened to, you heard Bruno Walter,
Yes.
originally Du Gasly. You grew up in an era of great conductors.
Yes.
Nikisch.
Yes, certainly. The greatest of them, Nikisch.
You really enjoyed
Yes,
Nikisch.
yes.
What was so great about him?
Well, it's very difficult to explain the greatness of a conductor. The same, I would say, Nikisch and Furtwängler.
Those two.
Yes, I knew both, but with Furtwängler I was associated. I was his assistant for a time. And at the time when I was not his assistant, I still was very much in touch with him, attending always his rehearsals and so on. With Nikisch I was not really in personal touch. Nikisch I knew him personally, but I knew only attending his concerts.
When you attended a concert, what did you expect to hear from Nikisch?
The message, a message. I mean, the message of the composer. And he had the enormous capacity to project the message. As a matter of fact, believe me, if today, if my job would be tonight to do Bruckner number 9, or let's see, Brahms number 4, or any of the Tchaikovskys, I could not refrain, or I would feel compelled to do it more or less the way I heard it from Nikisch.
Out of all the conductors you've heard?
Yes.
I believe several other people have stated that Nikisch, when conducting, was very improvisatory.
Yes. Both. It was absolutely according to the letter, according to the spirit, and according to his vision in improvisation.
So in other words, it was very fresh conducting.
Absolutely, yes. Creation. I never had a chance to hear Nikisch conducting Mahler. He did it, not very much, but he did. He did some conducting of Mahler. I never had the chance to hear it.
Did he know Mahler?
Yes, of course, he knew Mahler. But Nikisch conducted things like Carmen, like Fledermaus, Meistersinger. However, a very great influence on my career had Furtwängler, Wilhelm Furtwängler.
By a younger generation of conductors, what kind of early musical experiences were really important to you as a young man as you were growing?
Well, you just mentioned the name of Nikisch, and I would say this was the greatest influence.
Nikisch was a magnificent Tchaikovsky conductor.
Not only.
What are the Nikisch performances that really stick in your mind?
The fact that Nikisch played Tchaikovsky's Pathétique in Petersburg, and Tchaikovsky was present and gave Nikisch, after the performance, his ring as a gift. This made the round in the world, and so Nikisch became as a famous Tchaikovsky conductor. But Nikisch was a very great musician, and his interpretation was simply, you know how difficult it is to talk about music. You have to listen to music. And how difficult it is to comment or to analyze performances. Well, whatever I say will be more a metaphoric statement if I say he could deliver the message.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This would be, he could project when conducting Brahms number 1, which I heard very often Nikisch conducted Brahms number 4, which was in the program of the very first concert I heard Nikisch. You got the message. It was as if Brahms personally would have told you what he wants to say, or what was the purpose of the symphony, what was the reason, what was the background.
What about sound color? What about the character of the ensemble under Nikisch? How could you characterize it? What was the...
Not very much concerned about
Everybody being together all the time?
yes.
Aha, aha.
This you have to take with a grain of salt. Together, yes, but it was not, how should I say, it was not the prerequisite. It couldn't be something more against Toscanini, more different from Toscanini than Nikisch.
There was a great difference between Nikisch.
Enormous.
What was the Nikisch rhythm like? Was it more? It was far more. Must have been far more plastic than Toscanini's.
The rhythm in Nikisch performances was not concerned about the rhythm of the bar. It was concerned about the rhythm of the movement.
I thought you were going to say the rhythm of a phrase, but you're the rhythm of the entire movement.
Of the entire movement. He was not concerned about. He anticipated. He could see ahead. When he was while conducting, Tchaikovsky, because you mentioned Tchaikovsky, second movement of Pathétique, when he had to choose a tempo, or when he had arrived in the tempo, he thought already on the last movement.
So that means that he didn't try to wring every possible drop out of every possible note.
Exactly.
I see.
Exactly.
You say exactly. How photographic a memory do you think you have? Are you today, when you conduct Tchaikovsky's Fifth and Sixth, both of which you ever recorded, are you influenced by what you heard as a boy?
Very much indeed. Not what I heard as a boy, what I heard by Nikisch. Very influenced by performances conducted by Artur Nikisch.
I
Definitely,
see. Yes, you heard them over a period of about 10 years.
A little bit less. Let me see. Well, less. I would say a period of 5 years.
What do you think is essential about Tchaikovsky performances that Nikisch had to communicate? I mean, that's worth communicating.
Yes, it's the same as communicating Mozart or communicating Bach or communicating Schubert. Simply to project the message.
You're talking about style awareness to some extent?
What does it mean, style? For me, style awareness are two words. One begins with S, the next begins with A.
well, now...
Because if you just tell 2,000 people style awareness, everybody has a completely different idea of what...